Non-stop Vikings talk. It's Purple Daily on Score North and ScoreNorth.com. Purple Daily, presented by Surly Brewing Company.
And welcome in to the most fan-friendly, interactive, and I will add a third word, therapeutic show in all of Minnesota sports. This is Vikings Vent Line, part of Purple Daily. Phil Mackey, Judd Zulgad, Declan Goff, our executive producer, who is spinning a million plates tonight. And so let's set some parameters here off the bat. We are live on the Purple Daily YouTube channel as the Vikings, the clock is still ticking here, technically under 2 minutes, but the Vikings are getting smoked in Philadelphia 24-7. Not a final yet, but it will be in just a couple minutes. If you'd like to get on Vikings Vent Line tonight, by the way, if this is your first time watching or listening to Vikings Vent Line, we turn the show over to you guys here shortly and make it all about you, the likely frustrated Viking fan tonight. Email vikingsventline@gmail.com. vikingsventline@gmail.com. And we can get you potentially, if we have enough time for everyone, into the queue here. Keep it clean, please. No swearing. Do not get us fired. But we know that you're going to be frustrated tonight. The show is presented by our friends at TCL, one of the world's best-selling consumer electronics brands. They have a new lineup of award-winning TVs delivering the most entertainment with stunning resolution, all at an affordable cost. Enjoy more of the things you love with TCL. Judd, what beverage works well with coping with a Vikings disappointing loss? You know, what's a good coping mechanism tonight? Sorry, now you're muted because we told you to mute because you were watching stuff on your phone.
You know what?
There we go.
Any one of the delicious products from our friends, as Declan cracks one at Surly Brewing, is the answer. Now, Declan is drinking a Before I Die, and you know what? That's appropriate because we all want the Vikings to win a Super Bowl before we die. But tonight, you know, Logic Bomb's fine. Surly Furious is fine. Whatever you want to drink from Surly, whatever gets you through this very disappointing night, Surly Brewing's always there for you.
Yes. So let's go around the room here. We're gonna give our just quick thoughts, quick main takeaways from this game, and then we'll turn it over to you guys for a therapy session here. But what is your headline takeaway from this debacle tonight?
Complete disappointment for me. I did not expect the Vikings to win this game. I did think it was going to be close. I was eager to see, coming off a very impressive Week 1 performance, how the Vikings came back now in a very tough environment in a night game played, and they played atrociously. This was an overall effort from the coaching staff on down of what largely, to me, was incompetence. It eventually did swallow up Kirk, too, but this goes beyond Kirk. This goes to the Vikings were not prepared, and I thought that Aikman did a very good job of talking about the adjustments that the Vikings on both sides of the football did not make. I will say this, if you cannot run the football on the road, you're screwed. And they could not. So offensively, when you're starting from a point of not being able to run the ball with Dalvin Cook, it's a big problem. Defensively, it was as if the Eagles looked at everything that the Vikings did to the Packers and they're like, oh, we can solve that. And they did. I am incredibly disappointed from Kevin O'Connell on down to what we were forced to watch tonight because it did not strike me as a very professional approach to football.
I have just a small handful of main takeaways. I'll just give you them in bullet point form. My number one main takeaway is the Eagles are really good. It's going to be tough to beat the Eagles in Philadelphia. They've constructed a really good roster around a good, young, rookie-scale contract quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and he lit the Vikings up in the first half, so the Eagles are really good. My second main takeaway is, boy, the Vikings defense looks old and slow in some spots. But they did shut the Eagles out in the second half, which brings me to my biggest takeaway now that we've digested the second half is that this loss ultimately fell on the Vikings offense. And I know people are going to say this, that the Eagles had 370 yards of offense in the first half, this and that. If I had told you guys, all right, I'm not going to tell you how it happens. It might look a little weird, but the Eagles are going to score 24 points on Monday Night Football at home. Or you can take what's behind door number 2. So would you spot the Eagles 24, or would you take what's behind door number 2? Do you think you have a chance against, by the way, an Eagles defense that gave up 30-plus points to the Lions last week? Would you take your chances trying to score 25 or more points? I would have said absolutely. And so, yes, the Eagles ambushed the Vikings in the first half, but the game was still in question. And the Vikings had chance after chance after chance to come back. Irv Smith drops a 70-yard touchdown reception. Justin Jefferson runs the wrong route, as Troy Aikman pointed out. And then after that, it was mostly just Kirk Cousins being panicked and terrible throughout the rest of the game. And so, to me, like, after digesting the whole thing, the Vikings offense had so many chances on the road to come back and kick the door open, and they failed miserably.
The entire team, though, from watching that game, was not prepared from the start of the game. This is on the head coach. This is not acceptable. Like this is not an acceptable. Yes, the 24 points, you are correct, but this is why we watch the games. And this team, when the game started, was not prepared. And that's a huge problem. Like it's one thing to lose in Philadelphia, but every facet of this team fell apart. And the touchdown pass, which I think was 53 yards, that Hurts threw, where Bynum got beat, the entire point, and I didn't hear Aikman talk about this part, but the entire point of playing the basically too deep coverage that the Vikings do is to not allow that to happen. Like, that touchdown is not, it's not negotiable. It's not it broke down. He got sucked up by a tight end. His whole purpose is to stay back there. So my problem is this: in every facet, this team basically fell apart. And it's one thing to have a bad game. The Green Bay game was, impressive. It's another to not be prepared, and this team did not look prepared.
And Declan, real quick, your biggest takeaway from this game, and then we have a full room of Vikings fans that would like to enter a therapy session here.
Just embarrassing. It was week 2. It is not the same thing as losing the NFC Championship game, not even remotely close. But God, did it feel like the same ass kicking you took 4 years ago. It felt exactly the same way. And yes, the defense got gashed early. An impressive opening drive by Jalen Hurts. Maybe the Eagles were undersold a little bit. They're a pretty damn good team. Kirk had every opportunity to come back and try to put the Vikings back ahead. And 3 interceptions. I know JJ burned him on the first one. Aikman's calling it out, saying you have wide open players, and then bang, 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 interception, interception, interception. He just was awful tonight. It was an ugly game from defense to offense. Just an atrocious game in Philadelphia for the Vikings.
And with that, who's first out of the gate here on Vikings Vent Line?
All right, let's go to Kyle to kick us off here on Vikings Vent Line. Kyle, what's going on, man?
What's up, Kyle?
Nothing much, guys. How's it going?
What'd you see tonight, man?
That was atrocious. Just like from every level. I mean, I don't even remember. It probably was the NFC Championship game where everybody just looked at that god awful. First half, probably the worst defensive performance I've seen from the Vikings. They locked it down a little bit in the second half, but it's kind of was out of reach at that point, because Kirk never really showed that he was going to get them back in that game. It's bad. That's probably the worst I've seen Kirk play since he's been in a Vikings uniform, to be honest.
It's up there.
It's
Falcons
game. The Falcons
game. The Falcons game here was an atrocious spectacle of bad football from Kirk.
It's in the mix, man. It's in the mix. And that's the thing. It's like game, hold on a second. How many times in the last couple days, like the first 2 weeks, have you seen teams fall way behind? The Dolphins yesterday. Yeah. And it's the NFL. Crazy things happen in the second half. Keep your cool and keep going forward offensively. And it was like panic city for the Vikings once they fell behind.
Bet you we win that game if Flacco's in there.
You have a better chance. You'd have a shot. You know what? This is the worst game I think I've seen them play as a team since the Christmas Day game against the Saints in 20.
Oh yeah, the 6 touchdown. Yeah.
I think this was that incompetent. That's my problem with it. This was incompetence.
Yeah. it was the polar opposite of everything that we saw in week 1. Kyle, your final thoughts, and then we'll say goodbye.
I just didn't see any movement on offense. JJ didn't really move around that much. They moved him to the halfback once, but then they threw a little screen pass that had nothing to do with them. I didn't really see any movement like we did in week 1. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it was, I don't know, it was bizarre all around. Kyle, thanks for leading us off here on Vikings Vent Line. Appreciate you jumping on. All right, Dex, who is next?
All right, let's keep it rolling on Vikings Vent Line. We'll go to Noah. Noah, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we got you, Noah.
All right, awesome. So I got a few notes from the game. Kirk is now either 8-18 or 8-19 in primetime games. That is just awful.
Yeah.
And so the one play that really stood out for me was probably that underneath route by Justin Jefferson. He was wide open in the little flat, and he just threw it straight over his head, straight essentially to the defender. Kirk, I don't know what that was. And yeah, don't take the Lions lightly next week. That's all I got to say. Thank you guys for inspiring me to go into sports journalism. I got accepted into ASU the other day.
Nice.
Yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
That's awesome, man. What? First of all, a round of applause for Noah jumping into a world of providing potential therapy for fans or covering heartbreaks, whatever it is. What do you want to do in sports journalism?
I want to become a writer. That's basically like my goal right now. But I'm open to like trying broadcasting and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I mainly want to do right now.
Cool.
Good for you,
all right, man. Well, thanks for coming on, Noah. Appreciate it. All right, good stuff from future
ASU.
I would say Vikings beat writer potentially. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's not St. Cloud State. It's okay. Good school.
The Vikings, the game is over officially. In case anyone cares, it's 24-7 is the official final score. Nobody scored any points in the second half of this game. Both teams were just staring at each other like, Eagles are like, I guess we can't close it out. You know, and Kirk Cousins, like, dude, just take a freaking deep breath. Stop clenching your teeth. It's okay. You're going to throw some interceptions. Some guys are going to drop passes. Just keep going. And you want to talk about playing with a quiet mind, which Kevin O'Connell mentioned a number of times back early when he got the job. That's his number one thing. Get Kirk to play with a quiet mind in moments of crisis, on the road, trailing. This was the ultimate test tonight. Has Kirk's mind ever had more chatter than it did tonight? Have you ever seen a more opposite play with a quiet mind performance than you saw from Kirk Cousins in the last, 75 minutes of that football game in real time?
No.
Calm down, dude.
The problem, too, though, is this. And we've talked about this since the day O'Connell got the job, which is Kirk is going to have to throw passes that are going to be picked. How does he respond? Because that's the whole Stafford thing. Stafford, for better or for worse, basically just goes back to business. Kirk is paralyzed by picks, and that's what we saw tonight.
Yeah.
He threw one. The first one, which, as Aikman said, was not his fault, basically derailed everything after that. And then he started to throw dumb passes. But the entire team, what concerns me is the entire team took on the Kirk persona. The entire team looked like they were peeing their pants.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of,
Dude, it's the road. It's Philadelphia.
Peeing your pants is
your
not
coach
cool.
and your quarterback set the tone for that stuff largely.
Well, right, but I don't like the fact, I've become used to Kirk, but I don't like the fact that a young coach who appeared to be very, up until now, very calm, cool, and collected, basically had both sides of the football with guys who were hyperventilating.
This is one of those classic games where the loss isn't necessarily Kirk's fault. So let's put that in one bin. But he's not special enough, dynamic enough, calm enough to kick the door open when there's still a chance to win. Mm-hmm. It's the summary of his career. Tonight was a microcosm of his career. Let's keep going here. Vikings Vent Line, part of Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Let's go to Stiff Richards and holding a little baby there as he tries to cope with the loss.
This is her first Viking game, so she's wiped out watching us just get smoked again on prime time.
I mean, I feel like this is parenting malpractice here to be subjecting your child to a Vikings butt kicking in Philadelphia tonight.
Dude, yeah. So I gotta kind of go off of what Judd was saying. This whole game was coaching. Like how obvious were we just lobbing the football Throwing the football to Justin Jefferson, I get it. Feed your best player. But, bro, really? Hicks with the pick? We got him on the, 15-yard line? Is lob to Jefferson, lob to Jefferson. Dude, I was dying. I couldn't handle it. It was horrible play calling. Front and back. We got horrible defense. Our defense, bro? Seriously? Come on. And it's got to be on Monday night. You know how embarrassed I feel, boys? I got to go to work. I got my neighbor right now. We got a Packer fan across the street. Every time it's a night game, he flicks his lights on and off because he knows that I'm watching. I'm going to go throw something through his front window. I'm irritated. I'm irritated.
Oh, maybe you should have Kirk Cousins.
I'm going to put her down, and I'm going over there. I'm going to knock right on his window. Go ahead.
Maybe you can have Kirk Cousins throw something at his window so that it doesn't make it. It doesn't make it there. Yeah.
Kirk Cousins, yeah, exactly. He'd miss. It'd hit the garage door. But, in all seriousness, guys, everybody was so pumped up after week one. I get it. The Packers, la, 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 la. But I saw this coming, dude. It's how many teams have been successful with a first head coach and a whole coaching staff? Did you see Donatel's play calling? Yeah. Do you know what press coverage is, boys? Like, it was sick. It was sick. I can't handle it. I just can't do it. She's crying. The dog shit on the house, in the floor over there. Everything. We had a rough night over here. I took PTO off work. Look what we're doing.
I think we need to get Stiff Richards a stiff cocktail. A stiff cocktail or a stiff pour of Surly. All right.
And, all right, I'll let you guys go. But last thing. Declan, I called you a pipsqueak like 2 months ago, and you read the comment online. And I felt so bad because you're my favorite guy on the old vent line. So I just wanted to apologize.
I appreciate that.
And my
you
wife,
got your own pipsqueak there. It's all good.
And my wife thinks you have beautiful eyes too.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man.
Just so you know. And
thank you.
I appreciate what you guys do. And keep on keeping on, fellas. We'll do this. We'll get through this together.
All right, Stiff Richards, we got your back, man. We got your back.
Incredible.
Appreciate that. I feel like the more frustrated he got, the harder he was patting his child on the back.
I don't want to be part of that. I want no part of that. I want that kid to be okay.
Oh, man. All right, who's next on this Vikings therapy session we call Vikings Vent Line?
Let's get my main guy here, Austin, in on a Vikings Vent Line. Austin, what's up, pal? He's one of the biggest Kirk Cousins supporters I know. So Austin,
all right,
what
Austin,
was that, man?
This is your platform right here.
All right, perfect, guys. Well, first of all, can you hear me? Because I'm doing this off an iPhone in the car outside the bar. So.
Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, guys, it's first of all, feels great to be on. Thanks for having me, Dex. I kind of hit him at the last second to get on here, but I figured it's a big therapy session, so why not? If you guys have seen the Talladega Nights Ricky Bobby movie, where he has the crash and he's out there running out on the field, he's in his underwear and he gets carted off. Well, you hear the announcers say there are good days in racing and there are bad days in racing. Well, Ricky Bobby just had himself a bad day. And that goes the same thing with Kirk Cousins tonight. He just had him absolutely bad night. And I think, honestly, kind of Judd just mentioned it just a couple takes ago. I had it down here. He kind of sniped one of my takes. It looks like the whole team caught the Kirk Cousins bug. And it also just looks like, the whole take with getting Kevin O'Connell and having that sort of Rams new offense in here was, as you've even said in the past, Pill, if we're gonna throw it deep and have some interceptions, that's fine. It's how you're gonna bounce back. And Matthew Stafford has seemed to bounce back good last year, but in tonight with his first game under that new system, we've kind of seen him not bounce back good. So that was one of the major things that I was so concerned about. And of course, we can't talk about like the previous ones. The defense just looked bad tonight, guys.
Yeah, I think just on the Kirk thing, real quick, I think what's disappointing, and by the way, I think he's going to smoke the Lions next week. He's going to throw for like 303 touchdowns or something. It's going to be a classic noon Lions Kirk bounce back game. And I don't think this puts a nail in the optimism of the season. In fact, Judd and I both had them losing this game and still winning 10 or 11 games. So like this was a game that was going to be tough, probably one of the 3 or 4 toughest games on your schedule either way. But I think what's disappointing about Cousins is all off season it was about how different things are going to be and that he's going to have a partner in crime when things get tough, and the scheme and Kevin O'Connell are going to make it easier for him when things get tough. And tonight, and again, it's not all his fault that they lost. There's a lot of things that went wrong tonight, but it looked like the same thing that we've been complaining about for the last 4 or 5 years with just a different set of things around him, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I would also say, and this has kind of been a little bit of a take earlier this season in the offseason when we were talking about possible guys that we could sacrifice for contracts if it wasn't going to be Kirk. And we've had the Eric Kendricks pop up and even Harrison Smith popped up. Well, I hate to say it, but they seemed a very, very much of a step slow tonight. Both Kendricks and I know Smith looked like he left the field late, but both of those dudes it has dropped down a little bit off the defensive end. They just don't have that competitive edge to them no more. I don't know. Maybe it's a new defensive system or whatnot, but they definitely look a step slow. I hope that we're really not dealing with it, but as of right now, it seems like we may be dealing with a little bit of a downfall from one of our 2 best defensive captains that we have going on. So, I mean, I guess that's all I really had to say, guys. I mean, there's really nothing much else. I mean, the Vikings defenses, it looked pretty bad tonight. Hopefully, you know, we can bounce back, as Judd has said all off season. You know, we love Kevin O'Connell and how much of a good guy he is, but we have yet to see him lose yet. So we'll see how he bounces back. So I'm going to get off and let you guys get on here. And I guess I have one more thing. I'm just not going to, for anyone else, I'm not going to let my significant other watch a show anymore. I can't have Declan just keep getting all these compliments from everybody else's girlfriend. Keep your ladies out of the room when you're watching Purple Daily, guys.
Man.
Declan, man, the heartbreaker.
Appreciate
the
that.
show
He's a heartbreak
here.
kid over here. You know, I took
boy band guy.
About to say, I took
That's
the
what
girlfriend
Dex
out
is.
to dinner tonight. Like, if you want to start
He's our
flipping
boy
those
band.
bills, by all means, everyone, please let me know and try to help me out a little bit. But no, that's not the case. Appreciate the compliments, though.
You know, Dalvin Cook also looks slow to me. Dalvin Cook isn't, and that's a position that could be the most of everyone who looks slow. That one concerns me the most because when that goes off the cliff, that goes off the cliff.
Well, he's had so many nicks and dings, and
he's not
there's
young
just been
anymore.
a lot of things in his 4 or 5 year career to this point.
Yep.
By the way, if you're hanging out with us, and it's insane how many people are looking for therapy right now here on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. We have thousands of people, and we'll be sending you your bill. Just look for it in the mail in the next 2 or 3 weeks at some point. I believe insurance helps cover your Vikings therapy sessions, so you know, you just kind of figure out what your copay is, and we can work all that stuff out on the side. But you could click the subscribe button and the like button on this Vikings Vent Line episode on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. We help spread the word about this Vikings community that you are all helping us build. Daily Vikings entertainment on Purple Daily, and therapy in this case. Should we keep it moving here, Dex?
Let's do it. Yep.
All right.
Let's roll with DeMarco here on Vikings Vent Line.
Guys.
DeMarco, what's up, pal?
It's good seeing you guys again.
You too.
I'll tell you what. I don't know if Irv Smith needs to go get his thumbs checked again. That guy needs to catch the football. I know he got late at the game. He did get hit at the end. He caught a good ball, but there was one he could have caught the ball and went straight to the end zone damn near. Oh, excuse me, cousin. But it's just like I just don't understand how this is just going on. And then just another thing with Kirk Cousins. Like, dude, you just gotta why can't you just bite the bullet and keep it going? Why, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? Like, you got Kevin O'Connell in your ear. He's the offensive coordinator. He does what he needs to do, but he's not the answer. He's just not the answer. It was just a whole team just not together, just not with it. Another thing I want to throw out there, Cam Bynum. That was a horrible, horrible let up on the ball. That was a really bad deep ball he gave up on. Yeah. That's all I got for you guys. There's more things I could say and keep going on with. That was just the main things I need to throw out there. That's just horrible, sickening, bad.
Great stuff from DeMarco.
The in a nutshell.
Dude, that Irv Smith drop. Come on, guy.
Oh, God. It's a great pass, too. That was a beautiful pass.
Dude.
Like right in the bucket. And just went through his hands.
Oh,
or hell, he sort of caught it, I thought, at first. And then, that was real bad. Real bad.
Check that thumb. All right, let's keep moving here on.
Let's keep going.
Vikings
Hey,
Vent Line.
special guest here on Vikings Vent Line here. Let's go to our guy, Eric Eager. Eric, what's going on, man? Eric
Are you
Eager
still with Pro Football Focus technically before you move on to your next big boy venture in football analytics?
Technically, yeah. Technically, I am. Although I switched my Twitter handle. So the Kirk stands that wanted to take out their anger on me had to work a little harder to find my handle on Twitter today.
I heard they're all blocked.
Good on
They're all
you,
blocked
Jed, by the
anyway.
way,
So
for giving Kirk his due on the one good pass he threw all night. Good for you. Way to split the difference here between between reality and the Kirk stands. That was something, wasn't it?
Which one?
The whole thing, right? I mean, all the way down to. By the way,
part?
did you guys notice? And I'm going to say something positive about the purple tonight. Kevin O'Connell is a good coach. On those third down and longs, they don't run checkdowns. They are saving Kirk from himself by running everybody past the sticks. So that, and look, like, does it lead to some fadeaway jumpers by Kirk on third and long that almost get intercepted? It does. But I'd much rather. The people, the Vikings fans, would much rather see Kirk throw an incompletion on third down and long than to check it down to Alexander Madison. So I don't know. Like, I'm not taking a ton positive from this game, but at least the coaching staff, I will say, has a clue. And when you look at the rest of the NFC, it's not very good. So I think this team still has a chance to like do something this year. But
absolutely.
But tonight was a night where you realized where your ceiling is, right? And to me, and yeah, I've been on your show a number of times, when the Eagles can surround a $600,000 quarterback with an absolute bus of players like they have, it really shows the Vikings how far they are from really contending in this league with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
And that is exactly why we all have talked about for years why you want that QB on that contract. Like, that's the difference, right? He's good. And to your point, the infrastructure, offensive line, like you look at the players defensively that you can bring in to replace the attrition. Like, this is the whole thing where people get confused about Kirk and, oh, it's fine, you can pay Kirk. Okay, but the problem now, you can't replace Patrick Peterson. Ideally, he wouldn't be back, but guess what? You're stuck there. That's the thing that the Cousins Crusaders like don't want to hear or take into account. It's not that we're saying that Kirk stinks. It's that we're saying if the Jalen Hurtses of the world give you a chance to build a roster out, the salary cap restricts that. It's very, very simple logic.
Well, and you look at that Eagles roster. James Bradbury was a cut by the Giants. He goes to the Eagles as a sort of like a second starting corner, and that's excellent. That would have been the top free agent, like the Vikings' top free agent signing since the Kirk Cousins era was Zadarius Smith, who is a good player, but he was a cut by the Packers. This is not a top-end free agent player. The Eagles go, and you look at the Eagles' defensive line. We talk about Hunter and Smith. The Eagles got Hassan Reddick from the Panthers as a top dollar free agent. Josh Sweat. The Bradford trade, that Derek Barnett, who just got injured. By the way, it's okay when you have depth. Like Barnett just went out with an ACL, and they just keep folding them in. Right? They had 2 first-round picks because when they trade back, they actually get real assets and not necessarily like 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th round picks. So then they can trade one of them for AJ Brown because AJ Brown is on. AJ Brown can be on veteran money because the quarterback is on rookie deal money. And then you look at the offensive line, and when things get rough, you can just like sign your players. It's, again, the Eagles, and we all talk about this and people get mad at this, but the Eagles tanked in week 17 of 2020, right? And they got the 6th pick instead of getting 9th or 10th. And the Vikings are out here trying really freaking hard to beat Detroit in week 17 of 2020 and the Bears in week 18 of 2021. And now you look, and again, I say this over and over and over again, but the Vikings are busy winning these small battles. Yeah, you high five after you get Justin Jefferson. Well, newsflash, the Eagles have made the playoffs more often than you since that draft pick. So again, it takes an entire roster. And, the Eagles are a shining example of this. Like, the Vikings aren't that far from competing in the NFC. The Eagles are what the Vikings could have been had they made tough decisions a couple of years ago. And instead, they're stuck kind of arm's length away from the truly elite teams in the NFC.
I want to ask one more thing here before we get to some more Vikings therapy sessions here. Eric Eager from Pro Football Focus jumping in here and laying some truth down as the Vikings get their ass kicked tonight by the Eagles. And I thought tonight was such a great illustration of sort of the bigger picture problem. And I still think, despite this loss, that they're probably going to win like 10 games. Like I'm still taking the over on 9.5 because they have a weak schedule, a bunch of weak home games. But This is a game where all of the pieces around Cousins, defense over to drops by Irv Smith to a better route by JJ, like everything kind of around him falters, and yet they're still sitting there down 24/7 in the red zone, plenty of time left, maybe 5 possessions left, and they're just looking at the third highest paid quarterback to the cap to fix everything, please. In the next hour, can you just make up for this? And he doesn't do that ever, really. He doesn't do it often or ever. And people say, well, of course, you can't compare him to Brady or Mahomes. I can when he's making more money to salary cap, because that is the strategic decision you made as a franchise. And so, well, it's not fair to compare him to Brady. Yes, it is. These are chess pieces, and the chessboard has the same number of chess pieces for every team in the NFL. And so,
is it fair to compare him to
tonight.
Kyler Murray? Because I watched that Vegas Arizona game. Murray, 46 million APY, one of the worst coach first half I've ever seen, one of the most uninspiring quarterback play first half I've ever seen. And then you look at the second half and look, that Kyler Murray was playing for he looked like he was playing for his job. He overcame drops. Like AJ Green dropped 5 passes in the second half yesterday, it felt like. And you come back from 20 behind, you win a road game, you avoid 0-2. And again, it's fair to compare Kirk Cousins to these teams quarterbacks, because this team is not trying. This team's not trying to lose. They're trying to win these games. This was a statement game. If the Vikings would have won tonight, I mean, other than the Tampa Bays, the LAs, the Green Bays, and they're right in the thick of it. And now I think they were 7.5-point favorites to Detroit coming into today. I think Detroit wins that game outright Sunday. That Detroit team put up 35 against the Eagles last week. The Vikings put up 7. And I think today they could have gotten away from the middle of the pack. I think they're firmly in the middle of the pack now.
Yeah, dude, Detroit is 4-4 in their last 8, including a win over the Vikings. And they're over their last 4 or 5 games, they're averaging like 34 points a game going back to last year. And they play their asses off for Dan Campbell, so it's not that big of a stretch. Dude, great stuff. Can we still have you on our shows, or are you going to be doing too many top secret things that you can't talk about going forward?
I'll be doing I've been doing top secret things for PFF forever. I kind of compartmentalize. So yeah, absolutely. When I'm with Sumer Sports moving forward here, I will certainly continue to be on these shows. And and now I don't have to stand behind the high grade Kirk Cousins gets from PFF anymore.
Which is why you're leaving. That's why you're truly bailing on them. You're like, I can't take these grades on 8.
You're criticizing a guy that you graded as the 4th best quarterback in the world. What do you have to say for yourself? Well, now you're an independent thinker. So, all right, Eric. Great stuff,
job,
man.
fellas. Take care.
Beers sometime soon. Thanks for coming on, dude. Appreciate it. Eric Eager, long time. Actually, used to be I think he used to call into Vikings Vent Line way back in the day too, when it was a radio show. And now he's one of the best football analytics minds in the country, doing top secret stuff behind the scenes. If you're still watching and hanging out with us, and we see that there are a lot of you who are looking for therapy here, we got your back. This is Purple Daily, Vikings Vent Line. Mackie, Judd, Declan, our executive producer. And you can send a note, vikingsventline@gmail.com. If you don't get in tonight, save the email address for future weeks, Lions next week, whatever. Please click subscribe and the like button, as we're looking to build this community of awesome and frustrated Vikings fans. I'm going to unplug my mic and fix an audio issue while you guys, I'll stay on so I don't get kicked out of the room. But who's next on Vikings Vent Line?
All right, Jelly, let's go to Brian here. Brian, what's up,
Hey,
pal?
guys. Cheers.
Very nice.
Cheers.
I got you guys sip.
Yeah, take
There
a
you go.
swig.
Take it on back.
Take more than a sip tonight. Take a big swig.
Oh, I've had many. But no, good to see you
Keep it
guys
clean.
again. I called in twice last year, but I was gonna call the first game, but I was in the cities going to a Post Malone concert, so I was a little busy.
All right.
Yeah, but I just want to bring up that I kind of saw that. I think Kirk was trying to force the ball to Jefferson way too much. He was getting double covered, and they played really good defense. Some of those lob passes just did not look good. And also, I kind of noticed that nobody's brought it up yet, but you know how they were drawing that C when the defense was on? They drew that a few times during the game, and also during the Packers game they drew that too. I'm just kind of wondering if that's something that they've noticed that's pretty common with their defense that the Eagles kind of picked out.
Yes. Definitely.
So I was just kind of wondering about that. Like, yeah. And like, I do have to give it to the defense a little bit and also special teams because they gave us a lot of breaks, but our offenses, Kirk, the whole offense, they just kind of gave up a lot of opportunities. You know, when we got that interception, we got that blocked field goal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we had chances to catch up, but we just couldn't capitalize.
Absolutely. I think what bugs
stuff,
me
Brent.
is on both sides of the ball, what we didn't see were adjustments at all. Like, I'm not saying that you can't overhaul your game plan, but you certainly can make adjustments. And I didn't think that on defense or offense, we saw adjustments. I thought we saw panic. I really, this was a big test for O'Connell. And in the course of one game, tonight at least, he failed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he failed it. He has done nothing but preach calm, unity. We're all on the same page. I am empowering my players. And that's great to talk about. But tonight is like the night where you're like, okay, let's see it. Let's calm everybody down, including Kirk. But
Yeah,
let's calm everybody. And he didn't do it. He couldn't do it.
I think two things on that quickly before I keep rolling on is that so KOC obviously kind of overhauled that defense to a dude like Ed Donatel, who has been a DC for like 20 plus years, and good for him to do that. And I know after the week 1 win, he basically said, hey, there was things on defense that I need to be more aware of. And that was a game that was really controlled by the Vikings the entire game, but he kind of took the responsibility and kind of deflected some praise and said, hey, I need to be better in that situation. No adjustments in the defense for the Vikings. I mean, getting gashed on numerous 3rd and longs. Jalen Hurts is a freak. Like, he's going to bail out his team on offense numerous times on third downs here and there. But the 3rd and long conversions, the 3rd down conversions on the Vikings defense, that comes down to adjustments. And KLC and Ed Donatel got to be a hell of a lot better.
How did Jalen Hurts, the one that really got me because it made Smith look like a fool, the keeper that Jalen Hurts had to the right sideline. Now, everybody bit, and I get that. But Harrison Smith is being blocked by the tight end, and he never turns around. He literally got pushed down the field, and I think he was at least halfway down the field on, I think, what was a 24-yard touchdown, when he realized, oh, my God, Jalen Hurts has the ball still. Like, that play looked like a Pop Warner embarrassment play. It's a great play by Hurts, but I mean, dude, you've got to be aware.
Yeah, I will say real quick, do I sound at all better than I did before? Quick on-air meeting. Well, I can keep fixing it.
Keep talking, but
Okay.
I'll let you know.
The Vikings allowed like 100 total yards on defense in the second half. So there were adjustments made. I'm actually happy with the way the defense shut the Eagles out in the second half, a road game. The offense needed to do more. This loss, and Judd's going to have the pie chart of blame tomorrow, so we'll see where he puts the pie. But this loss, at the end of the day, fell much more on the Vikings offense being a mess than the defense, despite the bad defensive start, in my opinion. Anyhow, let's get to some more guests here on Vikings Vent Line.
Yeah, let's go to Chris now on Vikings Vent Line. Chris, what's up, pal? You got us okay? Chris,
can you hear us? I think Chris might be.
all good.
We'll
We'll keep moving. A little pro setup here for our guy, the Iceberg.
How's it going?
Good, man. Look at
All right,
this. This is how it is.
Well, I do this kind of stuff for my job anyway, so
Nice. Good.
figured I'd use it for my pastime of suffering as a Vikings fan. I'm not going to come on here and I'm not going to fake it till I make it and say I'm smart with football. But I will say this. Did you know we are now 500 in our all-time series with the Philadelphia Eagles?
But the Vikings have 2 road wins against the Eagles since I was born.
That's
Saw
nice.
that today.
For me though, like kind of what I saw, at least, and this is at least my thoughts on it, is it's kind of like almost a collapse in 3 parts. It was like at first the defense just looked completely flat coming out. Like they looked like the younger players looked flat, the older players looked really old. You guys were talking about Harrison Smith basically running with the Eagles instead of against them on that play. The drops then started compounding, and from there, like Kirk just desperate Kirk is the worst Kirk, and you saw him just start throwing up ducks. Like at one point, what it kind of reminded me of was, that play when the Vikings were collapsing before the Minneapolis Miracle, where Case just throws it up and hopes for somebody to catch it. That was like Kirk every other pass when they would get down the field at the end. It didn't feel like 38-7 to me. I know a lot of people are comparing it to that, but because it felt like there were chances to get back in this game and they never capitalized on it. If you don't get tackled by the punter running back, you get a touchdown there.
Dude,
If
how
Irv
about that?
doesn't
Dude,
drop
Chris
it-
Boyd. Chris Boyd, you let the freaking punter catch you from behind? Come on.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm just like, yep, this isn't gonna get any better. Yeah, it was actually funny because down the street, a friend of mine is a big Titans fan, and he invited me over. It's like, hey, we'll watch the Titans and then the Vikings. I'm like, no, I'm good. And I'm glad that I didn't do that because we both would suffer tonight. But before I get off here, I just want to say that thank you guys, because what I do over covering NASCAR, I kind of use a lot of what you guys do when it comes to just being critical instead of just going with the company line like a lot of others in the Vikings community will do. And it was funny because I showed my friend your guys' show after the Dallas game last year, and he's just like, he's a Rams fan, and he was just in disbelief of like just how much crap we all put up with every year. He's like, what are you doing? Why is Justin Jefferson staying put all the time? What? And I'm just like, hey, just hold on a second. After the game, watch this thing called Vikings Vent Line. You'll completely understand we're not alone. But yeah, that's my ramblings. Thanks for having me on.
Awesome, man. The Iceberg, dude, great setup. Best of luck in your NASCAR covering ventures, and we'll definitely do it again sometime with you. Great stuff, man.
NASCAR. Look at Purple Daily becoming the NASCAR daily of criticism. And
awesome.
you guys are
I
so
used to be
negative about.
You know me, I used to be a big Dale Earnhardt NASCAR fan. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Vikings Vent Line therapy session. Hopefully people feel a little bit better than they did 45 minutes ago.
Let's go to Jake. Jake, what's up, man? Welcome back. You've been on Vikings Vent Line a few times last year.
I have. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we got you, Jake. What's up, man?
Good. All right, buckle up. Here we go. All right, so if we just look at what happened tonight defensively, I lost my mind. Like, I don't understand why Lewis Cine hasn't gotten more than about one snap so far. I know he's a rookie, but first rounder. And then you see the stuff that the other safety's been doing tonight. Like
Can't bind them.
I
mean, Harrison Smith got shoved back a few times in key spots as well, too.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about Harrison. I'm not really. But Bynum making mental errors like that, you just can't have that. There's no room for mental errors in this. And then the rest of the team on the defensive side of the ball, like, we still can't stop the run. We can't. I just can't stop the run. Like, that's all we can say. I don't know where to go there. But then when you look at the passing game, I'm pretty confident us four in the room here, and then every Packers receiver who they all are just terrible, could all ran about a 5-yard slant or a hitch on these guys and gotten first downs because they were just playing 8 yards off. I thought we were watching like Zimmer 2-minute like defense this like the whole game. Oh, about lost it. So that's basically all I have to say on the defense. It's brutal. Offensively, I don't know why we're hyping up Irv Smith so much. He's god awful. I'm sorry. You drop a wide open possible touchdown pass, and then you don't create any separation on like about 2 3rd and 5s. It's just like, God, he's supposed to be a safety blanket, and he's just too small. He doesn't have the catch radius that like you need, like a Kyle Rudolph had.
Hold on. You said catch radius.
Catch
I
radius.
got to hit
There
you
you
with the
go.
football sounders.
Johnny Mundt.
Exactly.
Johnny Mundt from
Johnny
now
Mundt
on.
looks explosive.
He's
Looks
right.
explosive.
I'm not
Man.
gonna lie. I sent a text to a couple buddies saying, "Hey, Johnny Mundt might be the guy." I really. In terms of like the rest of the offense, they talk about Kirk having like a clear, calm mind. I think the only one who had a clear mind today was KOC because there was just nothing in there. He just had nothing going on. I didn't see anything that represented what like week 1 was. Just nothing. I saw a few motions from Jefferson, but nothing happened from it. We didn't use it to anything. No deep passes. And by the time we had to do something, The Eagles just smelled blood, and then we couldn't stop the pass. Not even the pass rush, but the blitz. The blitz couldn't pick it up.
Yep.
We were done. Like, it was just complete mess. Detroit next home game, 9-0 at home this year. Well, we should get the.
That's all you need, man. You just need one. Just need one road game, or or a neutral site. You could win. Couldn't you go 9-0 at home, 1-0 on neutral site, and just punt all your road games? Just rest all your starters.
We'll win some of those. You're gonna win some of those. I mean, we'll lose to Miami, the Bills, and then at the Packers, and go 13-4. That's optimistic.
I like the optimism.
You're very optimistic.
Dude, wait, Jake, wait, you just spent like 5 minutes torching this team. You're like, but they're still a 13-win team, so you can't be that depressed.
I mean, if you just actually decide to, call a different defensive play, except, if you call an actual defense and then offensively you just start thinking, yeah, there you go.
Maybe they're trying not to show too much. You don't want to put too much on film early in the season, okay? So
they plan this as a loss themselves. I like that. Yeah,
genius.
Analytically, it makes sense
you
to
can't put the pressure on this team going 17-0. You can't let that. You can't have that.
Jake, great stuff, dude. We love having you on Vikings Vent Line. We'll definitely hope to see you again sometime soon. Listen, maybe the Vikings and Kwesi are playing high-level chess, saying, listen, our home schedule is so weak. We're going 9-0 at home. We're going to beat the Saints on a neutral site. We got 10 wins without even counting the road games. Let's just pick a couple spots to play dead. Keep the league sleeping on us.
I still think the piecemealing of if you can win 7 at home and 4 on the road, if you go 500, if you can win 4 games or so on the road, I guess, because they technically only have the 7 road games with the neutral site game being in London, but can you still piecemeal it that way?
Absolutely.
No,
yes, you can.
Be prepared. This is just embarrassing because now we're trying to torture it. How do you get wins? Look professional. You didn't look professional tonight.
Are you professional or not?
I guarantee you, Zim was at his old Kentucky home sipping on some double
red wine.
scotch.
No.
Red
He drinks red wine.
Or just drinking a bunch of
guy. I'm not a red wine guy. So
well, whatever. Zim was. I could hear the cackling from Kentucky in SLP here.
Declan, I love Declan's like, I'm not a red wine guy. A cab.
A cab.
Declan,
Though,
can you
right?
name 3 types of red wine?
A cab is
cab.
Hold on. No, I can do this. I should be able to do this. My father is rolling in his ashes right now.
You got this.
A cab. Oh man, I know a lot of whites. I know so many whites. I don't know any reds. I don't know any.
All right, we'll give Declan no Googling. We'll give Declan till the end of the vent line to produce 2 more red wines. No looking in the comments. All right, who's next? By the way, let's shout out our friends here at Minnesota Lottery. So if you're depressed about the game, you can always just pick up one of these badass scratch-off tickets and maybe win a truckload of money, and make up for your Vikings sorrows.
Yes, exactly. Look closely here because what I have here, and while the Vikings disappointed you tonight, the scratch game does not. The Vikings big ticket scratch game with $10.2 million in total cash prizes. It's time to go big with the big ticket scratch game. It's so big, it has huge second chance prizes too. The lottery say I'm in. You must be 18 years or older to go big. So if Kirk Cousins and the guys disappointed you, head to your local store and pick this up and say, you know what, I can still win as a Vikings fan.
And I don't think we have the visuals queued up here for Vent Line, but we should also let the audience know that the official dog food, win or lose, of Mackie and Judd, Vent Line, and Purple Daily is Nutrisource. So Maya Mackey, 3 years old, just salivates over her Nutrisource, keeps her digestion and gut health intact. You got Judd's dog Stella that also enjoys waking him up at 6 a.m. saying Nutrisource, Nutrisource.
It keeps her young. She's old. It keeps her young. She's still making plays, unlike, let's say, Dalvin Cook, Harrison Smith, Eric Kendricks. Stella is still making plays. Why? Because of our friends at Nutrisource.
I think Irv Smith might need a scoop of Nutrisource for next week. All right, just
the treats.
Boy, get him back on track. NutrisourcePetFoods.com to find a retailer near you. NutrisourcePetFoods.com. All right, back to Vikings fans here. Vikings Vent Line.
Let's go to Paul. Paul, what's up, man? Welcome to Vikings Vent Line.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing today?
What's going on, man?
Pain, man. Pain. As usual, per usual. So I'm out in New Mexico, so not too many Vikings fans out here for me to talk to. So I appreciate y'all for being here for me during these times.
Yeah.
But the first thought is the same I've had since he's got here. Kirk he's not that guy. He's just not. He's not bad. The game today wasn't all on him. Of course, everybody was bad, but he's just not who all the stands think he is. If we switch Kirk today and Jalen, the game is completely different. We just need a QB who has some heart, some grit, just something deep down that he just doesn't have. And we've seen it multiple times. And I'm tired of it. I'm sure everybody is, except for the stands. I made a claim on Twitter that got me a lot of feedback. I said Cooper Rush is way more clutch than Kirk Cousins is.
Dude, I love Paul. Paul is in here, man. Paul is swinging on Cousins Crusaders right now.
That's a great hot take.
Paul's like, all right, come on, bring him on. Anthony in the comments says we're calling him Cole's Kirk now. Cole's Kirk is 2-10 on Monday Night Football. You like that? I actually still think he's going to have a career season, despite this game tonight. And I am not a Cousins Crusader. I'm not gonna. I don't think this is what his season's going to be. It was atrocious tonight, but at the end of the day, I mostly agree with Paul.
It was terrible. I thought after that first game, I can't lie, my hopes were up here. I thought he might have turned the corner. I thought KOC might have put himself in really shook it up and changed who he is. But unfortunately, that's not the case. And I see that Lamar Jackson is not being paid. I'm not saying it, but
say it.
I'm Lamar to the Vikings next year.
Looks good in purple. I think you might have.
Great in purple, man.
The problem is, and Paul, thank you, dude. Definitely come on Vent Line again. Paul was awesome. Not just because he ripped Kirk Cousins. You guys just want people to rip Kirk Cousins. The problem with Lamar Jackson is once he gets paid, his value goes down in terms of what you can build around him. Because part of the reason why the Ravens were so successful is because he was making like $1 million or $2 million a year for a while, and you could build a monster roster around him. And then when he starts to make $40 million a year, it's kind of the same conundrum the Vikings have right now, which is, okay, you got this gigantic contract, but it's like the 10th to 14th best quarterback, and now you can't pay the extra 3 players on your roster you need to fill it out. So, all right, should we keep going here? Vikings Vent Line, therapy session.
A Malbec, right? Isn't that a red wine?
A Malbec, yep. All right.
I got one.
Declan's got 2.
That's 2.
Cab
That's 2,
and
and I am not. I'm not cheating here. That I remember that when my father loved a Malbec. I remember this. I remember this now. It's all coming back.
Okay.
Somebody did suggest in the comments that Vikings Blood is a type of red wine. I don't think there's alcohol in it, unless. Well, I was going to make a joke there, but I was going to make a Corn Robinson joke. But I am above that.
It's late at night. Don't do something you're going to regret in the morning.
All right, if they're drawing the blood from Corn Robinson in 2005, it might count as alcoholic. But okay, anyways.
Josh, what's up, man? Welcome to Vikings Vent Line.
Dude, I hate this team so much. Like,
oh, come on.
I am 17 years old, and I'm ready to give up. I don't know how you guys have been doing this for this long.
Oh, can't give up.
This sucks.
Wait, how old are you?
17.
Oh, dude, you got 50 years left of this.
Wait, this is the transition, though, Josh. This is the transition. We don't know. Like, this is what makes it intriguing right now. It's not like the same old. Like, the last 2 years sucked, right? Because by the end, it's like, this team's not going to win. They've all turned on the coach. This is like the ups and downs. We're back in the meat of being a Vikings fan now. You can't give up right now.
I don't want to be a Vikings fan. This is
Josh, listen to me. Listen to me. I'm 52. I could be your dad. I'm going to talk to you. You have to understand, this is your lot in life. This is your commitment in life right now. You can't just hop around and become a Cowboys or a Packers or a Chiefs fan. You are a Vikings fan for a reason. And much like me, you're now sentenced to that lot in life, much like the rest of the show. So what you need to do is have hope that eventually in your long life that is left before you die, that you can carry on a tradition, because I'm almost certainly at my age now not going to see a Super Bowl championship. You have that chance.
What is okay, dude? You guys. This is the second week of the season, and we've got Josh. He doesn't want to be a
52.
Vikings fan anymore. Judd is like, I'm going to die.
Well,
I'm probably
that's-
going to guess who's going to die.
That's normal.
They play the Lions next week. They're probably gonna beat the Lions.
Don't give
Like,
up,
what
Josh. Don't ever give up hope.
I can't even like drink away my pain with a Surly or anything. Like I just have to
Gatorade.
bear down and endure this. This really sucks. And
Look,
Judd, I hopped on the Ed Ingram train. Man, I'm hopping off. This dude sucks. Like Ed Ingram is not the right guard of the future. I'm sorry, but man.
Look, Josh, I was 17 when Favre threw the interception across his body, and I went home that next day, and the Vikings were in like a stadium kerfuffle too. And I literally remember this. Actually, I think there's a Facebook status receipt of this. I said, just sell the team. I was in your shoes. Granted, it was in a different circumstance because it was an NFC title game. You're just stick it with, man. Stick with it. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's week 2. Stick with it. It's going to be okay.
I'll try, man. I'll try. That's all I can say.
Well, Josh, you mathematically, by the way, Judd could be your sports grandfather if just depending on
you know what,
things here
Josh?
and there. So
Call in or come on each week because I feel like you need a lot of therapy right now. You're young, impressionable. You need us to guide you through because giving up on this godforsaken team is not an option. You're stuck. You're stuck with this team. Now we have to figure out how to channel that anger, that young rage, and get you through the season.
All right, that sounds good. I'll come in every week.
Thank you.
Just
Appreciate that.
all right, Josh.
Bye, Josh.
Insurance will pick it up. We'll see you next week for
Pro bono.
another
I'm
Vikings
doing this pro
service.
bono.
Did you just tell him that it's going to be okay as a Vikings fan? That is a
He's
patented
17.
lie.
Okay, sorry. Because you were 17 and someone else who was 12, 13 years old and you didn't lie.
If when I was 17, first of all, no one told me that it was going to be okay as a Vikings fan because they knew that it wasn't.
Oh, well, my dad was dead, so I had no actual physical father to tell me it was going to be okay. So I'm just saying, just stick with it. You're going to have these emotional outbursts. It's going to be fine.
No one should be telling anyone that it's going to be okay as a Vikings fan, okay? Let's at least start with
but
some
you can't get out.
basis of truth here.
But you can't leave. You can't leave. You're sentenced to this.
Yes.
It's like a sequel to the movie Get Out. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but
yeah, it's a great movie.
Anyhow.
But
All right,
you
let's
can't
keep it
become a
rolling here.
Chiefs fan.
We're an hour into this thing. Please click the subscribe button and the like button so we can spread the word about this Vikings therapy session on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. Vikings Vent Line. Looks like we got Ian ready to rock next.
Hey, how's it going, guys? First time listening, actually. So thanks for having me on.
Welcome in. Sorry.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been a rough one today. I'm actually still really excited about this team. I think we have a chance to do good things. I think KOC and the coaching staff will do the good things, but just a matter of working out those kinks and getting there. Some things I didn't like today was kind of some of the defensive play in the first half. Bynum was a little slow. Obviously got burnt for that deep touchdown, but then also tried to focus on stripping the ball from Jalen Hurts on that long touchdown run rather than just get him to the ground, make a defensive stop. We saw them do it last week with the Packers. You can make a goal line stand. So give yourselves that opportunity rather than, taking that, trying to make the big play, just get the safe tackle and move on. Other than that, Kirk was definitely forcing some of those balls to JJ. I didn't like the pass. I think it was right after the interception by Hicks. Kirk tried to force a slant into Thielen. If he had waited just a couple more seconds, I think JJ probably would have been open on another crossing route. So just some missed opportunities. I think that the coaching staff will pick that up and hopefully they turn it around. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. But
yeah, I'm generally with Ian here. I had him losing this game. It was a little uglier than I thought it was. Judd, you had him losing this game.
Yeah, I just thought that they'd be prepared. The Eagles adjusted to what they did in week 1, and the Vikings were very skittish on adjusting back. Detroit is now going to exploit what, to a large degree, that Philly did tonight. And so now you're going to have to adjust it as well. Like, that's the whole game. It's the adjustments, and then what do you do, and what do they do? Philadelphia had a great game plan. The Vikings were slow to adjust. So now Dan Campbell's going to do the same exact thing. So can you now counter that?
Right. Yeah, I think I mean Philly's a great team. It's a tough environment to go on the road and play, as we've seen. The NFC Championship game a few years ago.
Yep.
And Jalen Hurts had an amazing game. They gave a lot of respect to, as they should, to AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. It's just a matter of sometimes you have to press those guys. You can't play a soft coverage on those guys all day long and expect to make the stops every time. So.
True.
Ian, thanks for bringing some level-headedness here. It only took an hour for someone to bring some level-headedness to the table. By the way, if Eagles fans were throwing cans of beer at Vikings fans' heads, hopefully it was cans of Before I Die by Surly. But let's keep going here. Vikings Vent Line, Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Let's go to Jason on Vikings Vent Line. Jason,
hey,
what's up, pal?
What's up, guys? Can you hear me? I got my earphone in.
We got you, man. Yeah.
Oh, okay, sweet. I'm a big fan of you guys. I probably watched you guys since the beginning. I think maybe 1500 ESPN. You guys used to maybe come on a few hours later. Not you three, but I think Collar, and then maybe a Vikings Vent Line would air, but I could be wrong.
No, we used to. We've been doing the radio version of this for like 11 years.
Oh, wow.
So definitely goes back away.
I called in one time when Superstar Morris was on there, and he called me an idiot for something I said. I don't remember what I said,
right.
That's Morris.
But he did. And Declan, I don't know wwhy women are looking at your eyes, but dude, get an OnlyFans account. You might be able to make yourself some money. I'm just saying, you might be able to make some money.
I love it.
But I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll just talk about the offense and the defense. Defense, there were a few busted plays, but it was really coaching. Ed Donatel just played soft, and there wasn't any pressure, no blitzing, nothing. He didn't mix it up for Hurts. And, man, when a ship is sinking, you got to jump off the ship. But it looks like Donatel, he just dies with the ship. And that's what upsets me the most, and that's why I had to call in. If they had tried something different, something after halftime, any adjustment, I'd be okay if we got our butts whooped. But the fact that they didn't even try anything new, that would irks me the most. And for the offense in and of itself, Kirk is going to Kirk. This is Kirk. I live in Silver Spring, Maryland, outside of D.C. I've seen enough of Kirk Cousins. I'm not a Kirk stan or whatsoever, but those people need to come on here and defend him. I know there's been a few, but they need to come on and defend him. Judd's right about it. And, you can only go so far with Kirk Cousins. He's basically Jimmy G. You're not going to win because of him, but you can definitely lose because of him. And the Eagles defense, not the Eagles defense, but the Eagles were giving us chances to get in the game. The blocked field goal, the interception that Hicks got, and we couldn't cash in. And that, man, Kirk, that was horrible. So that's all I want to say. But to that guy who is 17 years old, I've been a Vikings fan since middle school. He can jump off now. It's early for him. You can jump off. But I turned 37 yesterday. I've been in it too long. I ride or die, man. I'm a Sacramento Kings fan also. My favorite color is purple, so that's kind of how I got into the purple teams. But, yeah, I'm a loyal guy.
Kings.
It's too late now, man. I got to die with the ship. But I will be at the Packers game. They're coming to FedEx Field here in D.C. I want to see Aaron Rodgers play once. And if the Packers lose, I will call you guys because I need to get on live. And seeing Packers tears is probably what makes my day. So
actually, we could do some live Packer Vent Line if you could just walk up to Packer fans if you're comfortable getting punched.
I am
just walk
very
up,
comfortable
put your
doing
phone
that.
in their face, and send us the video.
I will do that. I hope they don't curse or anything, but yeah, I will totally do that, man. Honestly, I would go to Philly with my Justin Jefferson jersey. My friends gifted this to me for my birthday, and I would sit in the stands. They could try to throw at me, but man, I'm not scared of them. So
they might.
I will gladly go into Washington and do that. But yeah, and I'll be at the Minnesota game as well. And Kirk better not Kirk, man. He better not. Just do me something.
That's a big ask.
It might be a teeth clencher game.
Yeah.
The only time that I could say Kirk Cousins did me proud was that New Orleans playoff game. That's the only time that I've ever seen Kirk come up clutch. But whenever adversity hits Kirk Cousins, he folds. And I hate to say that.
Yeah, generally it's true. There's always exceptions, but it's like, dude, it can't be the exception. You gotta rise up a little bit more often. So, Jason, good stuff, dude.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me. Therapy is real. Get it, man. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Jason. Happy
awesome,
birthday.
man. Jason out there in the DMV. Let's keep rocking here. Vikings Vent Line on the Purple Daily YouTube channel.
Let's go to Alex. Alex, what's up, dude?
How's it going, guys? Really excited to be here. I mean, I've been watching you guys for a year since last preseason and just have loved every second of it. Watch it all the time at work.
Dude, thank you, man. Thank you.
Couple things tonight. The defense, not multiple at all. I mean, I did not see any blitzes. I saw mostly 4-man fronts rushing Jalen Hurts. Not really many spies going after Jalen Hurts. Brian Asamoah was on the field a couple of times, but no 3 safety sets. And Patrick Peterson got torched a lot. I mean, he was leaving too much space between him and Miles Sanders at times. A lot of times it was A.J. Brown. And then on the offensive front, we didn't utilize a lot of our weapons. It was a lot of like going to Jefferson, Irv Smith, a lot of the times across the middle, and then he got blown up by Darius Slay. And then KJ caught a couple passes for, first downs here and there. It was really nice, but you didn't see a lot of Thielen's engagement until about the fourth quarter, and that was a little bit sad. And then like Judd was saying, Dalvin Cook was dropping a lot of passes and he wasn't getting yards after the catch. He just wasn't. And it was pretty sad to see. It was kind of disappointing. But to appreciation for Judd, Johnny Munt's route running on that red zone.
Told you guys.
That route running in the red zone from Johnny Mundt where he shook Darius. I don't know if it was Darius Slay or what, but he shook.
Let's go with it. He shook Slay. Let's go with Slay for sure.
Slay.
Yeah.
He shook Slay and got that separation and then got some yards after the catch and put us in scoring position. That was really nice. But, I was expecting a lot more from the scheme of the Kevin O'Connell offense and just from Ed Donatell's defense. But, it all came down to scheme. And then Kirk Cousins, there was a lot of times where he could have thrown up the field. He could have, Adam Thielen, KJ, and JJ are 3 of the best wide receivers in the league, in my opinion. You need to throw a 50-50 ball to them now and again. Like, you need to give them the chance to make a play. And a lot of the times it was a check down. It was, the safe bet, which I was hoping wouldn't happen. I was hoping he'd be a little bit more quiet-minded and played a little bit more aggressive. And when the lights were on, it just didn't happen.
Yeah, Alex, thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate you finding us a year ago, and we are happy to provide this therapy for you and others.
Johnny Munt Whisperer right here. Johnny Munt
He's
Whisperer.
off to a nice little start. He's out, and some people are saying he should start. He is starting. Hasn't he started the last 2 games? I think over.
He started the first.
Well,
game,
he's not
starting.
Sometimes they don't. No, they use a tight end in their 11.
He's starting. He's starting.
No,
We've had
Johnny
plenty
Munt.
of debates on
Detective Johnny Munt.
Start. Yeah. No,
We've had some more people, by the way, take issue with naming Jalen Reagor a starter, but it's the case is closed.
I've gotten more of that now, but it's too late. It's like, where were you people earlier?
Yeah, it's like double jeopardy. You can't be tried twice. Yeah,
the case was tried, and now all of these folks are like, oh no, he's not a starter. It's like, where were you?
Speaking of trying things, if you're looking to lose a bunch of weight like Judd has, 40 pounds and kept it off over the last year, our friends at Livia are here to help you.
That is right, and they are here to help you with an offer as well, and that is this: 8 weeks for free. That's right, your first 8 weeks for free. I've, as Phil just said, dropped 40 pounds. Dawn, she's dropped 16 plus pounds. Our friend Chris Ron, who we work with, he joined 10 pounds. The point is, this works, and right now, get your first 8 weeks for free. It's this simple: 855-GO-LIVEA. Livia, LIVEA.com. That is where the weight loss starts, and the best part is, keep the weight off. Again, Livia.com. Check them out and get on that program.
I got to talk about Prize Picks for a second here. The easy way to play daily fantasy, because I told the masses, the millions
and
millions of Phil Mackey Twitter followers out there. I told them, I think it was 2 days ago even. I said, here are the 2 obscure overs I am taking in this Vikings game. Kirk Cousins over, I believe it was 4.5 yards rushing. And then I believe it was Adam Thielen over like 4.5 or 5.5 targets. And Kirk busted off a 5-yard run in the first half. He winds up with, I think, 20 rushing yards in this game. So Kirk, 2 rushes for 20 yards. Adam Thielen was 7 targets. And so even if the Vikings got smoked tonight, there's ways to still have fun and play daily fantasy through our friends at Prize Picks. Promo code NORTH with the Prize Picks app or prizepicks.com gets you $100 bonus cash, and you can help us out by telling them that, Score North sent you with the promo code NORTH. prizepicks.com and the Prize Picks app. All right, who else here on Vikings Vent Line?
We're cruising along. And speaking of getting pulled over for hot takes, it's our guy, Pulford Skull.
Oh, look
he is the chief hot take police officer of Purple Daily.
Ass kicked twice tonight, Pulford.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I have to go to work tomorrow, with that being my second team, this being my first, and it is going to be rough. But as a official board member of Purple Daily, I just want to give a shout out to our chief emotional support officer, because he's going to be very busy the rest of the week.
Yeah.
My goodness. And
he's gonna need us to build him a staff, I think, underneath him.
He does. He needs his own board underneath him. Poor Josh has probably already got a plane ticket over to his house. That poor fella. I tell you what. But let's talk about some positives. We got a dog in our punter. That man, he can punt the ball like nobody's business.
I think that's a silver lining for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think it is.
This is such a Vikings fan. The punter, let me tell you.
Into the wind a couple of times. Oh, man.
Hey, you gotta look at the positives. Greg Joseph, he kicked the ball off really good. 3 times, I guess?
Was it 3? I think it was 2.
Twice. I'm sorry.
But they were both great. They had the perfect pop-up kicks right there on the edge of the goal line. Mm-hmm.
Drilled that extra point like nobody's business. I'm telling you what, guys, we got to look at the positives here. But let's talk about, where was CJ Ham tonight? Kirk Cousins didn't have a chance to even dump it off to him. We got Alexander Madison over there dropping catches. JJ swinging out of the backfield wide open. Kirk looks at him and he goes, "Oh, he's too open. Let me throw it to Madison, quadruple covered."
What was that?
I mean,
explain that to me.
They showed it, and I think it was even Troy Aikman. He goes, "What was Kirk doing?" He looked right at Jefferson. He's running wide open out of the backfield, and all he had to do is throw it to him. And JJ's probably got 20 yards. Instead, he turns and looks at Madison, who's got 16 Eagles around him, and throws it in the crowd.
I know.
He short circuits, man. He just he's like sometimes there's just games, and this is one of them, where Kirk Cousins just does the blue screen of death that happens to your laptop. Or he's just pixelated.
Where should I throw that ball?
And then he restarts in safe mode in the second half, and you can't figure out how to get back to the desktop. That was Kirk tonight. Yeah,
start banging on him.
He just short circuited every time. Darius Slay had the most receptions on the team tonight. I mean, Kirk was like, "Hey, where's Darius? Darius, oh, there he is. He's back there. Throw it to Darius." And Darius is just coming down with every Kirk ball there was tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, Kirk Cousins is back, as Everson Griffin would say. Kirk Cousins is back. Prime time Kirk, live and in the flesh. 1 fumble, 3 picks. And he's on a roll. Hey, but as your chief hot takes officer, I will say, next week, I think, Phil, you said it, or Judd, maybe it was you, he will have a bounce back game. He will go 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we'll get a "you like that? You like that?" from Kirk. You like that? You like that?
Yes.
Hey, Pulford, 65-14, your teams were outscored tonight. The combined score of the Titans game and the Vikings game, 65-14.
Oh, you should see the
Calling sick tomorrow.
Oh, it's burnt down. It's horrible. It's awful. Showing up to work tomorrow, I'm just gonna have to walk in and walk right back out. It's rough. One last thing though. Let's talk about Ed Donatel and being the stooge of the day. Where was the twist? Where was the stunts? Where's moving Hunter inside? Where's moving Zadarius around? Was there even one blitz tonight? I don't think there was a single one.
Yeah, they clearly went in thinking, all right, and Aikman did a great job laying this out in the first half. All right, they're going to essentially try to create a shell and hope that Jalen Hurts makes some mistakes, right? We'll just kind of contain everything, no big plays, We're going to make them go 14 plays on a drive, and eventually they'll just make mistakes. And they didn't. Jalen Hurts was great. Might want to mix it up.
I think, was it Troy Aikman? He kept drawing the line on the screen
Mm-hmm.
all night long, saying, look at this. And he was saying how far back every single person was playing every single time. And what did Hurts do? He looked like a stud out there. He was just, okay, here's 8 yards, and then they break it right off.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're not going to charge you for this therapy session because you are part of the cabinet, the leadership cabinet here. So just know that this was a free of charge session for you, Pulford School. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys as always doing great work.
Keep up the good fight. That's our chief hot takes police officer there.
Yep.
At least Pulford gets. I think Malik Willis got into the game late in the game on Monday against the Bills. At least they got another quarterback to look at. That's kind of nice.
On Monday? Are you already on to Tuesday?
Whatever day it is, it's 11:30. It's a lot of stuff going on. I'm trying to remember a third wine at this point. Okay, there's a lot of moving parts.
All right, so
on Vikings
you've
Vent
nailed
Line on this.
a cab and you've nailed what was the other one?
Malbec.
A Malbec. All right.
Another M. Merlot. Is Merlot a red?
There it is. Yes.
Did I get it?
All right, there it is.
I
Declan
feel
has
like I sort of
named
helped out on that one.
3 red
By
wines
mentioning
right
them
there.
Of any sort.
I am
Something clicked,
appalled. Judd's wife Dawn would be appalled. Mike
father's
Zimmer would be appalled.
Yeah, I don't. Does nothing for me.
I'm not appalled.
Does nothing. Beer, whiskey, tequila, more beer in my stone cold voice, but that's it. That's all I drink.
I'm with you.
I told the audience that Judd would shotgun a Surly at some point tonight if the Vikings came back and won, and I feel
And I
like
would've
we
been
were
willing to do
robbed
that.
of that moment on Vikings Vent Line.
Actually, we weren't really robbed. I mean, they quickly. Kirk basically went in the toilet moments after that tweet came out. So, unfortunately, it didn't come.
He couldn't live up to the pressure that I applied to him. All right, who's next on
that what it
Vikings
was?
Vent Line? Yes.
Oh my God.
I believe it's Irv Butterbrick Jr. here on.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Nice hat.
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, what a night tonight. I got a few things for you guys. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. Phil, I'm right there with you, dude. Play like a champion. Notre Dame.
My Notre Dame play like a champion mouse pad has been put in hiding after their atrocious 0-2 start, but there's always next season.
You're telling me, hey, you know, it's crazy. It's either the Vikings doing good or Notre Dame's doing good. So, anyways, I got a few things for you guys. Irv Smith, come on, man. I mean, that is the hot take of the night, in my opinion. I mean, that's a game changer right there. You take that, you get that pass in your bucket. You take it to. That's why I made the name that. Is if you take that to the house,
yep,
it changes everything. That changes the whole
does.
momentum of the game. It would have been 21-14.
Yep,
we would have been fine. Also, O-line. I know that the defensive line for them, Jordan Davis and all them, are good, but I mean, that's why I'm giving Kirk Cousins a little bit of a pass. Is that, I mean, he had no time at all. There's so many times where he was pressured, and he's throwing these lob passes to the end zone or anything like that, and it was just there was nothing there. Also, 2 to 3 targets, I'm pretty sure, for Justin Jefferson in the first half. It's like it's almost like the Mike Zimmer era. It's like, what are you doing? Or like the illusion of complexity. Where was that tonight?
I think it was just an illusion tonight. Actually, it was.
They forgot to pack it. It stayed here.
It's on the tarmac. It's on the
driving
tarmac.
home. I saw it. I was like, oh my God, you forgot.
They've been speaking that all season, and it's like the illusion of complexity completely disappeared. There was no motions really. There was not really any like complex plays going downfield. Nonetheless, there was so many times Justin Jefferson was wide open, and instead we're going to check down football. We're checking down to Madison or to Dalvin Cook, who also bobbled 3 balls in his hands. It's kind of hard for me to, like understand everything that's going on.
Alexander Madison was targeted 5 times for 6 total yards tonight.
How many times did Dalvin Cook bobble the ball? 3, probably.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about this? Actually, Vikings running backs were targeted 11 times in the passing game for 25 yards. 11 targets, 25 yards for Dalvin Cook and Alex Madison.
I need to see mob boss Johnny Mundt out there, honestly, dude. Irv Smith needs to just be sidelined, dude. I mean, I've always had such high praise on him, but I just don't see it at this point. Johnny Mundt had that hurdle. He's looking pretty good. So I mean, I'd rather have him in there.
Buy your stock now, Johnny Mundt stock.
Johnny Mundt doesn't drop that pass down the left sideline.
In the secondary, I don't even think we had a secondary on the field in the first quarter. It was non-existent. Cameron Dancer kind of picked up on the he had more of like a hit stick, if anything, in the backfield hit stick. Didn't really have any coverage the whole time. I mean, it all disappeared. From the jump, you could tell. Even that, do you remember that sideline when they put the camera on Justin Jefferson right after the first touchdown? To me, what I saw from it was he looked like he was pacing back and forth. Like he looked a little like disturbed or something. I don't know exactly what I like took from it, but it just looked like he was kind of like irked by the environment. It's a hard place to play. Philly's a hard place to play, which, I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that. I still do have positive outlook for the rest of the season, but it's just, I had a feeling that this was going to be a hard game to play, but I didn't expect this. This was beyond anything. Yeah. Kirk Cousins needs to bounce back and not let this irk him. And if KOC really is what he is, then we need to see what's going to happen with it. And lastly, I'll leave you guys with, I'm hopefully making my first pilgrimage to US Bank Stadium. I know you guys have been mentioning that. I watch you guys every single day. You guys encompass probably 6 to 10 hours of my life every week. So
that's awesome, dude.
I've been trying to get on since Cooper Rush lost last year at Dallas. I was in Maryland at the time. I'm a California-born Minnesota Vikings fan. Also, I got Boston Terriers my whole life. That's another thing, Phil Mackey, that I remember you were trying to get a Boston Terrier for a while.
We've got we've got a half terrier now. She's half terrier, half terrorist sometimes, but she's pretty awesome.
Great animals, though. The best personality.
Yep.
Also, if you want anything that's going to leave you in a positive light for this, go listen to the Bill Burr on Philadelphia. If you've never heard of that.
Yep.
Good point, man.
Yes.
That is the funniest rampage I've ever heard on that city, and I'm probably going to listen to that tonight. It'll bring me a little bit of joy.
I do appreciate and respect their vitriol toward Jalen Reagor. You know, like if it was the Wild or the Twins, we'd run a tribute video for him or something. And these fans said, bleep this guy. He is a clown and a bust, and we're going to boo him out of the stadium. And they did it with conviction. Irv Butterbrick Jr., definitely come on again sometime, man. Thank you.
So. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Awesome stuff, dude. Awesome. Let's keep it rolling here on this therapeutic edition of Vikings Vent Line. Please click subscribe and the like button on the Purple Daily YouTube channel. What's going on, man? Tyler,
what's up, man?
Not much. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
We got you,
okay.
yeah.
All right, awesome. I want to first off and apologize and just say not all Philly fans are as bad as you think we are. When you're in Philadelphia, the riffraff can pay for tickets and throw batteries and be terrible people. We're actually good people, I promise. Second off, I don't know how you guys do this. Like, you guys are martyrs. I just saw convincing that 17-year-old kid to like suck it up, but man, like
That's what we do.
I don't know how you guys change regimes, change players, but somehow sometimes play the same.
It's nuts. Are you an Eagles fan, by the way?
Diehard Eagles fan, but I'm a 4-for-4 Vikings fan second, or Minnesota fan second. I love the Wild. I love the Twins. Love the Vikings. This is my home now. I'm from Philly, but I love Minnesota, and I'll be here for the rest of my life. So
I think we should listen to your advice here. What we don't want this to keep happening. We don't want them to be this soft ass team that goes on the road and prime time and gets smoked and gets beat by backup quarterbacks like Cooper Rush. I mean, what should we do?
I don't know. In all fairness, and first off, Philly is a hard place to play, and I truly feel that Kirk Cousins has PTSD because he's a Washington former player. And I think every time he's in Philly and he's feeling that crowd and he starts buckling, it just happens. It happened like clockwork. Once it started getting rough, 2 picks happened immediately after. I feel like Kirk Cousins seriously has PTSD in Philly. That's one thing. Second off, I can't believe 84 is not retired yet in Minnesota. And you let Irv Smith just drop that wearing 84. That was disappointing. That was really
That's
bad.
a great point. Yeah, it is.
On a Monday night, too, national audience watches that number in purple look that bad.
Dude,
that should have been 6 all day. When he dropped that, I was screaming at the TV like, bro, you have to catch that. Like that should have been 6 on us. And then Adam Thielen. What is going on? How is this the captain of your team? And what does he have, like 4 receptions in the first 2 games. And the last thing I will say, I like I said, you guys are my second team. I'm Philly first. I think you guys will pull through. Your guys' division looks pretty weak. Don't sleep on the Lions. I've been watching a lot of Lions because I have DeAndre Swift on my fantasy team. They look very scary. I think besides the Packers, I think they're better than the Packers and the Bears, to be completely honest. I think the Packers are going to really crap the bed this year. But I think you guys will bounce back. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I watched him too much in Washington. But you guys have the team, and I do want to see. Now I'm kind of like on board. I want to see you guys win the Super Bowl before I die, and I'm an Eagles fan. So.
Now you just feel pity though. Now you just feel bad, and like we're just like this pathetic thing over here. Oh, those poor people.
No, you guys are prophetic. The first year I lived in Minnesota is when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So I feel like I feel like it was destined for me to be here, not to rub in your face. And also, Mackie, my friend is Charles Awad. I heard your podcast on Libations for Everyone. That was really cool because I've been listening to you guys for a long time. I'm a big fan of the Purple Daily. Anytime there's a game or anything happens, I listen to you guys, and it's kind of cool to see kind of know the same people. But great podcast.
That's awesome, man.
And, thank you guys for doing everything you do, and I'll be trying to get back in again. This is really cool. Thank you guys so much.
Tyler, thank you for the words of encouragement for all of us just struggling to cope with these Vikings.
You're so pathetic.
Let's keep
That's
it rocking
basically
here.
what he said. You guys are pathetic.
Still got thousands of people hanging out with us here 90 minutes after this game ended here. Vikings Vent Line.
How we
Blake,
doing,
what's
boys?
up, man?
How we doing?
What's up, Blake?
So it's kind of weird because it felt like it was almost just a complete opposite of week 1. We win 23-7, then we lose 7-24. Both sides of the ball just feel like they were incapable of doing anything positive. Repping Pat Pete because he had probably one of the 2 highlights of the entire game. So
He did have a nice highlight. Yeah, he got torched a couple times too, but but he had a nice highlight.
He looked a little old.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. I feel like everything that could have been said has been said. I'm glad there was a bit of a humbling period, I guess, for week 2. I felt like it probably would have been not great to come out with a dub. Maybe just as a Vikings fan, I look at it because if we start out 2-0, beat the Eagles, my ego is all the way high. I'm drinking that purple Kool-Aid, and then we lose to the Lions week 3, and then.
But what if you beat the Lions? You beat 3-0. You feel great.
Yeah, well, I suppose, but I don't know. I have a lot of faith in this team still to do well. Probably, hopefully win the division. But I guess we'll have to see if the Aaron Rodgers is still a thing or not. I don't really count a game against the Bears in Lambeau, but
yeah. I think, and by the way, Blake, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
it.
Definitely come on again sometime. I think at the end of this, I'll leave you with a little ray of sunshine here before we get to our next Vikings fan. Yeah, the way that it went down was very, very ugly. Mm-hmm. But this was supposed to be a loss on the schedule. And I think at the end of the season, you're going to look at a road game at Philadelphia when it's all said and done and say, yeah, not a lot of teams are winning there this year. Mm-hmm. So again, I think the bar should be high for this team, but I think the result is not a disastrous result. I think people are spooked by the process by which it happened, and we'll just have to see to what extent does that carry over to the next 2 or 3 games. So
it's the rebound now. That's the question. Because O'Connell has faced until tonight 0 adversity. So you can talk about all you want about, I'm prepared for adversity. It's going to be fine, blah, blah, blah. But when you hit adversity, what do you do? And the one thing that bothers me about tonight was it's very clear that they got a really nice and quality head start on the Packers, and they surprised them, okay? Philadelphia watched that film and said, oh, we know exactly what to do. They did it. So now the question is, Detroit's going to say the same thing. What do you come out and show that's different and adjustments? And that's what bothers me about tonight is now it's going to challenge you where you're going to have new wrinkles on both sides of the football. If you do that, you might be fine. If you don't, it's a problem. And keep in mind, too, it's important to note, there's a lot about O'Connell that we don't know yet. And so if he can adjust and change things, that's awesome. It's great. If he doesn't, that's where problems start. So we'll find out.
Yep. Kevin O'Connell owned all of it tonight in his post game and said, I put it on me. I don't think I did enough. We know what our standard is, and it starts with me. I've got to make sure I do much, much more to help our guys play. And now the quote just went down. But like basically he said, it's on me. You know what? And I like that. I think it's great. I think now there comes a point at some point where if they keep playing like this and you keep saying it, then it's just like, all right, dude. But I like that he's not afraid to I like that he's secure enough in himself to own it. And Mike Zimmer wasn't. And that was part of the reason why he didn't connect as well with people after X number of years. So, all right, who's next on Vikings Vent Line? Declan?
Yeah, a few more left here to kick things off.
Second chance.
Chris, what's up, man? Got to know.
Thank you for guys for giving me a second chance. I just wanted, there's a few things. My first time being a vent liner. Love the show, as always. Wasn't sure how to prepare for this. I was going to bring a paper bag. Only had plastic, so I had to adjust the game plan.
Got to be careful with that, though.
No, I know. I was like, I did adjust the game plan.
Actually, no, there's some people that might say, actually, after that game tonight, do the plastic.
Yeah. Well, I adjusted on like Donatello did today. But I just want to go over a few things. First one is Kirk can't overcome any adversity. None at all. I mean, yeah, look, there's drop passes. Defense was bad. Run game was bad. I don't care anymore. Tua, he struggled in the first half. K1 was awful. Heck, even the elite Joe Flacco had a comeback. Kirk can't do it once. I mean, I look at the coach in Miami. What they do when they're down, they just send it to their best players. Send it deep. No checkdowns, no easy routes. Take a chance. I mean, who cares? You're already losing. You're getting your butts whipped. The second thing is, if we can't gain pressure, our defense, our coverage can't hold up at all. And I said this in the beginning of the season. Yes. Yeah, our edge rushers, they're great. But where's the interior pressure? There's going to be none unless we send a blitz, which we don't know how to blitz in this. I mean, who knows how to throw a crazy blitz package? Not our coaches. I mean, we didn't even mix it up. We didn't mix it up once. I'm like, well, let's muck up the intermediate routes. You know, let's maybe force him to throw deep, which is Jalen Hurts' biggest weakness. The only time he throws deep is when we leave him wide open, which we're pretty good at. I mean, maybe move Smith to linebacker, put Cine in, play three safeties, someone that's more adept in to muck up those intermediate routes. We don't do anything, naturally. Another thing is just a daily reminder that we chose Irv Smith over A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf because we were so scared of 11 personnel, and who needs 3 wide receivers anyway, right? I don't know, not us. Lastly, Judd, in camp, did Thielen show some signs of slowing down or something? I mean, he looked good, but maybe he was just toasting our crappy corners. I don't know. Because, I mean, I look at it. He doesn't get a catch till, midway in the fourth? I mean, this is supposed to be our number 2. There is no – I mean, it doesn't matter. Kirk used to rely on him all last year. Now he's just throwing to Jefferson when he's double covered. But, forget about him when he's wide open.
JJ.
Oh, man, this is killing me. Thank you guys for your time.
This is a heater toward the end of Vent Line here. This is great.
Well, I've been waiting.
Pure passion here.
A lot of beers going down while in the weight room. Try that.
That's really good. Man. That's closer stuff, though, man. You came in throwing hard. Like that's 101.
Yeah, this is Duran throwing gas, throwing triple digits here.
Yeah, you're not messing around.
Love it, man.
Well, hey, thank you guys for giving me a chance. This is a message to Kirk haters, to the cult of Kirk. I meant, my apologies. This is for you. Kirk Cousins is only going to have 2 rings in his life. One is from his wedding. The other one's cinched around what's called his surly. Thank you guys so much, and I love you guys. Let's go Vikings!
Chris, there he is.
Wow, incredible.
Oh man,
that was a good ending.
Looks like we got a couple more here.
We have a couple more here.
Couple more.
Godspeed to Sam and Ryan here before we wrap up. But good luck to them. Sam, what's up?
Oh hell yeah! How's it going, guys? All right, I'm gonna rapid fire
Sam?
this stuff because I'm sitting in the car because my infant son is asleep with my wife inside.
Smart man.
Real quick, first and foremost, I want to talk about who I want to fire after this game. I am sick and tired of this crap where we assign captains and don't even use them. Where was the blitz packages? Where was Adam Thielen? If they're going to be the captain, they need to be the leaders. Let's get after them. They need to be making plays in the game. Otherwise, JJ needs to be the dang captain at this point. If we're going to throw to him 11 times, make him the captain. Adam Thielen hasn't done nothing. Number 2, let's talk about these coaching decisions. Why in the crap are we not blitzing and putting pressure on Jalen Hurts? Where's the spy we've been talking about all week? Where's the blitz? Where's the pressure? Where's the anything? They played the same defense at the start of the game as the end of the game, and he cut them up. I thought this was supposed to be innovative. I thought this was supposed to be new. I thought this was supposed to be a brand new, fresh take of life. And here we are out here playing a stagnant, stale defense. Thank you, Ed Donatel, for doing the same crap every single play. Let's play zone, and A.J. Brown won't get a catch. He cut us up. Everybody cut us up, and Jalen Hurts made us look like fools. Last but not least, guys, I run 3 bars here in Dallas. I'm a beverage specialist. I don't have Surly. Help me get Surly down here, and I'll tell you what. You talked about the TVs, getting games on the right spots. I tell you what, I make sure that nobody misses a game that they want to watch in my bars. Make me on your cabinet. I'm your TV guy. I'm your bar guy. I'm your Texas guy. Y'all get me down here. Get me on this cabinet. I watch every freaking week. My freaking girl, I love you guys. I'm not going to lie. She kind of hates you guys because you take up so much of my time and I talk so much about you. I'm one of those people that football takes up way too much of my life. I thank you guys for all your actual real takes and not just puffing smoke. Oh, Judd, some weeks you drive me crazy with your harshness, but I tell you what, you're right when you're right. And here we are. Everyone is talking about how the Vikings are Super Bowl contenders, and here you are pumping the brakes going, you know what, man? It's Kirk. It's Kirk. He's going to give you a game like this. It'll be 11 wins. It ain't going to be 12.
Sam, you are hereby the Sam in Dallas, the chief bar TV officer of Purple Daily and Vikings Twitter. Congratulations. Welcome to the Purple Daily Leadership Cabinet, sir.
Hey, thanks. Thank you.
All right, go back to your family.
Yeah, go back in and see your wife and kid. I'm sure she's real happy with you now.
Go back to your family. All right, and then let's wrap it with Ryan here. Ryan, you are the closer here tonight with your cowboy hat.
Hey, I got a question. Before I get into like the positives and negatives, I want to know what you guys, your total thoughts, Kirk, everything. Like, what do you guys really think went wrong 100% tonight?
Like, what's the main takeaway, or what do you mean?
I mean, what do you guys think? Like, I mean, Kirk threw 3 picks, right? I mean,
here, I'll sum it up. Actually, I'll sum it up because this happened in the 49ers playoff game a few years ago too.
Okay.
The Vikings got ambushed and punched in the mouth, but the game wasn't over yet. And instead of just collecting themselves, and I'm not putting it all on Kirk because it's Irv's, it's on a bunch of guys.
Agreed.
But they got punched in the mouth. It's a boxing match, and oh my God, whoa! Like we got knocked down in the first round, but it's a 12-round fight. And in the 6th round, the opponent started sucking wind a little bit and leaving himself open. And instead of collecting yourself and calmly punching back, you were so nervous about what happened in the first round that you couldn't find your way in the boxing match. That's what happened tonight.
Agreed. And the one, I think it was a second Kirk pick. I mean, I think we were desperate for a big play, and I think some of those were forced, 100%. But at the same time, I mean, the play calling wasn't set up for any success tonight. I mean, the screens, instead of running the ball to Dalvin or Madison, we're just throwing screens left and right, and they're dropping half of them. I mean, half of them are just drop balls. Mm-hmm. And that's not, I don't know what the Vikings were supposed to do if we're not handing the ball off. The one drive, when we threw the interception, there was multiple runs in a row that we were just pushing the ball downfield, and instead we throw a pass and it gets picked off.
Yeah. No, the drops were egregious tonight. Egregious tonight. Mm-hmm.
The problem, too, is that game started to get away from them quickly, and they never had the ability to reel it back in. I think they went 3 and out, and then they scored. And so you're like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's 14-7. They're back in it. And after that, they started to go back to reeling again, to Phil's point, and that's what I don't get. And I will flat out say this. Tonight concerned me with the coaching. Tonight concerned me from a coaching standpoint because, yes, Kirk is at fault. Irv Smith had a bad night. The defense in the first half was brutal and didn't adjust. But just from a coaching standpoint, like,
I'm getting there.
Where was it? Like, at some point in time, somebody has to say, okay, we got to calm down here. We're fine. And we never got that. And what's really weird is at halftime, you would have thought that they would have come out for the third quarter when they started to get chances, like with a fresh lease on life, and they never did that.
I mean, look at like the motion schemes too. In the Packers game, we're motioning all the time. We're getting defenses moving. We're getting safeties moving. We're getting linebackers dropping down. And then we're hitting those plays over the middle to Jefferson. We're hitting plays to Thielen. Thielen was non-existent. We just didn't target him.
Right.
But we're not getting any motion. There's no movement in the offense. There's nothing happening. And then it just turns into a handoff for 2 yards or a drop screen pass. And if we do push the ball downfield, I mean, it's been rough. I mean, Irv Smith, some of his route running tonight against linebackers was just bad. It was just bad.
Yeah.
And he dropped the ball. It should have been a touchdown that could have changed the entire game.
Yep. Ryan, great stuff, dude. Great way to wrap up Vent Line here. Definitely get you on again sometime, partner.
Perfect. Thanks, Ryan. Love the cowboy hat.
All right, man.
That's a great hat.
Very HBK. Big fan.
It was a little heartbreak hit. Thought he was going to
heartbreak hit
super
there.
kick Declan's teeth in to end the show there.
That's right.
And then do a crotch chop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's a good therapy session, I guess, for all of you and us. And I want to shout out to our friends at Federated, too, for helping power a lot of the things we do at Score North, Purple Daily, Mackie and Judd, our other daily show. If you're new, you can find all these on the Score North and Purple Daily YouTube channel, podcast feeds. But Federated's been around for over 100 years, protecting businesses and maximizing their level of success through risk management tools and resources. Federated is one of us. They are Minnesotan through and through, and you can find your marketing representative at federatedinsurance.com, where it's our business to protect yours. So, all right, well, we have plenty more to say on what happened tonight, tomorrow on Purple Daily and on Mackie and Judd. So definitely come back tomorrow for, I think we said a lot tonight, but I've got even my wheels were turning as we were going there. So I've got more in the bag to unleash on this team. And I've got some positivity to unleash on Judd, who I think Judd's done. Sounds like Judd's firing Kevin O'Connell after tonight.
I'm very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Okay,
Kevin.
That's almost
young
worse.
Man.
Well, this was a good sesh here. Thanks to all of you, the listeners and the viewers. If this was your first time, or if you've been going back years and years to our old radio version of Vent Line, we appreciate you, and we are here for you on disappointing nights like tonight. Just be sure to subscribe to the Purple Daily YouTube channel and click the like button so we can spread the word about this Purple Daily community. Daily Vikings entertainment. We just want the Vikings to win a damn Super Bowl before we die. See you guys tomorrow on